She has the female, complex, multitasking brain. That's why they can't be happy. They just always, they're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So they got the shoes they want, and then they see some other woman walking in going, oh, look at this skinny bitch over here. She thinks she's cute, right? And that's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with like a pizza and a drink, like, that's not holding, and just be like, and enjoy ourselves.
So you're saying that because you're happy that you think your wife and women in general want to take
They're jealous of it. They're jealous how simple the male brain is, that you can just sit there and be entertained and find true happiness, and it just bugs them, so they got to ruin it. And they're slowly taking over the NFL. You know, all next month, once again, they're going to dress everybody in the NFL like newborn baby girls, for whatever reason. Did you forget that there's breast cancer for a year ago?
Yeah, so they did it last year, and they're going to do it again this year.
Yes. They're slowly going to take it over, and they're going to move us out. Because I'm telling you, I don't understand why they keep trying to go into a male football league. It's like, why don't you guys band together and start your own league? Get your own thing going. But I realize they don't want their own thing. They don't want their own shit. They want our shit. I don't know what it is. And I think it's because we're happy. We're just sitting there enjoying ourselves, having a good time without them. It drives them nuts. And they just got to go in there and ruin it.
So they got women's basketball.
They don't even like it. They don't even like most of them they don't even like football. Like, I don't get it. I don't get like the fascination. Like, if my wife is having like 3 of her friends over, I screw. I leave. I don't need to be there and ruin it for her. I know you guys. I'm going to change the dynamic because I'm there and you can't talk about 100% female stuff. Out of courtesy, I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to leave.
But they can't do that, you're saying?
One guy, one chauvinistic jackass up there understands what I'm saying.
He's like Edison. I don't know. He invented all this stuff to everybody. What are you talking about?
Did he? Did he sit down and like, I'm going to invent the iPhone, and just sat there soldering, possibly welding, right? Didn't he have like a crew of guys helping him out?
Sure, maybe he did.
So why, when he went to those nerd fests, didn't he have like a chorus of scientists behind him who helped him out too? He walked out like he was Tesla. Like tapping into electricity.
I'm not with you.
I think he just kind of like told people what to invent. Like he just kind of came in like, I want my whole music collection in that phone. Get on it! And then all these nameless, faceless guys made it happen.
Yeah.
And then they have the big nerd concert and he goes out there by himself. No belt, sneakers on. I just didn't buy it. It's a great way to tap out from the news and just, watch a game and get away from it. And now there's like all these causes are getting like attached to it. Like I was watching the World Series, and I'm in the middle of watching the World Series, and out of nowhere they have this moment, stand up to cancer. I'm watching a ball game, and all of a sudden everybody stands up holding up a sign of somebody that they either know that's dying of cancer or died of it in the middle of the game. It's just like, what are you doing? Trying to watch a game here. No, there's a time and a place. Look, I know somebody that has died of cancer. I would never go to the movies with you and in the middle of it hit pause and be like, oh, by the way, Conan, I know this guy. He died of cancer. It was horrific. I could have lifted him up off the sheet with 2 fingers. It was horrible. Hey, enjoy. Oh, by the way, I got molested when I was 9. Enjoy the rest of this. He didn't do anything to me. You know what he did for me? He raised $500 million for cancer research. That's what that lie did. Yeah, it was great. And everybody had the bands on. Remember the band?
Yeah. Sure.
Right? That blocked out the sun, right?
No, it wasn't to block out the sun.
No risk cancer?
Yeah.
No, the whole thing was annoying, and I hated how Oprah was interviewing him and acting like she was dumbfounded that this guy would do this. Like, she's been in show business for 35 years, and she can't, like, wrap her head around some guy doing whatever it takes to get to the next level. Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have, like, midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, She did a show, but she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got, and then she's sitting there across from this guy like, so how could you? You know exactly what he's doing. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Look, the guy was a sociopath on a bicycle, all right? As far as I'm concerned, we got off easy.
Yeah.
If that guy was working for a corporation, he probably would have been pouring stuff in the water supply, doing God knows what. Just keep him on the bike. Just let him go up and down the hill. He's not hurting anybody.
Not hurting anybody.
He isn't. And the top 20 guys, like, all tested positive for roids. So our roided up guy beat your roided up guy. Okay? And those guys who run that filthy sport, who is sitting there going like, oh, this is ridiculous. He doesn't represent cycling. Are they going to return all the money that they made off of that guy? Huh? They're going to turn in their yachts? They're not going to. They're not going to do it.
Everyone turn in your yacht. Are you worried about him at all being in office? Do you think, does it concern you?
I don't know. I feel like the president, you only see him like once every 3 weeks. You know? It'd be like if you were dating a chick and she was a jerk, but you only saw her once every 3 weeks. There's like no way she could break your heart, you know?
What?
No, it's, you gotta see.
The immigration site to move to Canada crashed. Do you think people are going to really move to Canada? Do you think
I hope so. I hope so.
You want
Yeah,
people
there's
to move
too many people here, the rent's too high and all that. Just thin it out, give us a little negotiating thing, and then what's going to be funny up there, it's not going to be Michael Moore's Canada. What he said, you keep your doors unlocked, and everybody's drinking syrup, and it's,
He didn't say everyone's drinking syrup. I'm quite
Talk to anybody of color that tried to make it playing hockey up there. Listen to the stories they had. You'd be like, were you in Alabama? No, it was in Manitoba. Yeah, those are still white people up there.
Yeah.
Just because they're on the other side of the invisible line doesn't mean that they're not going to act like white people.
Yeah. So you're not a big fan of Canada, is what you're saying?
No, I love Canada, but I don't go up there with like this starry look in my eyes like everyone's going to be riding around on mooses, right? It's just like
it's environmental stuff. You really are worried about it.
I am and I'm not. I just also feel like, it'd probably be a good thing if most of us died. You know what I mean? It would be. There's nothing wrong with driving a gas-guzzling car. There's just too many people doing it.
Yeah.
So you got to figure out a way to like thin out the herd, and it's too late. These are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships.
What? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's hear them out. Why would you randomly sink cruise ships?
Because you get like 2,500 to 3,000 people a whack, right? And I think it's a good mix of people to get rid of. To be honest with you. They're not interested.
What happens after the second time they catch on?
No, because this is what you do. As you're sinking them, you're building an exact replica. So as you're eliminating people, you're like creating jobs.